It's an honor and a privilege to share with you all the work that we've been developing at Vitoria Town Council. In Vitoria, we share the vision that's been conveyed by Aitor regarding working in the prevention and active aging. So for the last few years, we've been developing a network made up by 15 centers for the elderly that has a series of services. Apart from the information service, they have health parks and a canteen network where we offer 600 meals on a daily basis. We offer courses and workshops that we run from the institution, but there's a whole bunch of self-managed activities. The elderly organize their budget, they organize activity. As I'm showing you some data here. We have over 35,000 people who are users of this network, and this amounts to 50% of people over 60 years of age. And we also try to develop our community programs, so work in coordination with different stakeholders in the area. All of a sudden came coronavirus, and on March 10th, day centers started being closed. On the 14th, the state of alarm was declared, as well as lockdown. And on the 17th, the canteen network also closed down. We had to reorganize the service, get in touch with everybody in order to see how to organize things, who needed meals to be home delivered. But there was a question, that is, how can we reinvent ourselves in order to keep on satisfying the needs of elderly people who were locked down, who were under lockdown. So we had a series of, we had an infrastructure, we had a professional team. We've about 90 professionals who work in these in these centers for the elderly. We have municipal technicians, and we've got people from the managing company, social cultural facilitators, monitors, and apart, and so we set up a telephone service, a line, 24/7. The idea was to get to know or to assess the situation of the elderly, to give them advice, to monitor, and also to detect possible vulnerability situations, loneliness, maybe people who didn't have family or social support, or people who were affected by the situation, and people who had found difficulties in order to satisfy their basic needs. In those cases, we switched on or activated different types of support. It had to do with home delivery, food or meals, buying, doing groceries, basic products, offering psychological support when needed, and also bringing them material for leisure. And we did this on a daily level, or every other day, or weekly, depending on the case. This is something we did in different stages. On March 18th, we started calling up older people who were users of our programs, of our existing program. We got in touch with them in order to see how they were doing. In March, we came up with a sort of a script in order to organize and run interviews. We trained people who were in charge of making the phone calls, and to teach them what to say, how to do things. And we also started gathering data and analyzing those data gathered, calling people who were living on their own, alone, without any social support. So we used our census in order to detect those possible cases. At the beginning of April, we took a further step, and that is to set up 2 further lines, telephone lines, and we came up with information brochure, and we kept calling them up, etc. First of all, those who lived alone, and we also started, and then we started calling married couples, couples who were, I don't know, in the 60s, 70s. Then we said, which shops are open during lockdown? Well, pharmacies, bakeries. I started going to these places in order to give them brochures. And this is from my street. Bakers. And once this system started operating, we started adding other things. We started getting in touch with different radio stations, and we also started organizing radio programs from homes. And apart from this, we set up a YouTube channel so that centers started broadcasting physical exercise activities that were broadcast. Of course, they were recorded. Then, as soon as we could, on June 15th, we started opening up canteens again. Then the state of alarm ended, and we started sending people to workshops, people we were monitoring. In August, there were still 180 people under monitoring. Elderly ladies, especially over 70-some, 80 years of age, living on their own. So some of these lines are still active. And as we see things, this is a service that's been very successful because we believe we've been able to respond quickly to the needs of many of these people. We've reached out to 11,500 people who were in serious need of support. We've activated 150 home delivery meal services. In some cases, we've brought material for leisure to their homes. And the perception by the elderly is that our service is a good service, that I found it extremely useful. But I must say that we've kept updating material. Right now we are in a project mapping the different strategies and initiatives that were deployed during confinement in order to detect lacks and things that could be improved. So that's a very quick summary of what we do. Thank you very much for sharing this program with you called We're With You. You're not